welcome to Stitch Thoughts. My name's Rachel and I'm going to be showing you in this video how to make the raven of communication with all his fine embroidery and his little letter to symbolise the communication. The corresponding colour here is blue for the communication. I have my petition in here already, and my clear quartz crystal, so it has little wing pockets, and I've stitched my intent into every stitch for manifestation of good communication. My personal project is for the communication for my book, Magical Embroidery, where you will find the pattern for this. And I'm going to be showing you how I did this so that you can do your own. I'll see you in a bit. So here's all my stuff. I've got my sulky stick and stitch sheet with the printout of the pattern. So that'll be cut up and stuck onto the felt. The felt is a big sheet of black, so 22 by 22 black felt, centimetres that is. A scrap of turquoise for the leaves, some scraps of white for the letter. I've got my scissors, my excellent scissors, which cut really nicely through fabric. 2 size needles, one for embroidery, one for passing the thread through the beads, so you need something smaller. The beads themselves, got turquoise, black, silvery colours, and the sequins in the same, so you can choose your own colours, but I'm using kind of petrol-y colours. I've got the blue for the communication to go inside the wings, so these pieces, and a piece of blue ribbon that I'm going to be using to hang the raven up with. So I'm pretty much ready. I'm going to get cutting. All the felt has been soaked and is now very dry. So you need to, when you soak your felt, this is necessary because when you use the stick and stitch for these embroidery pieces, you need to soak the entire thing for this to dissolve once you've done the embroidery, and at that point your felt may shrink. So pre-soak your felt so that it shrinks before you start working on it. So the pattern's all stuck on the felt, and now I just need to cut it all out. I started doing the wings. I'm doing this main stem, so the solid line stem, which is a back stitch in the pattern, using a lovely petrol green, bluey green, reminiscent of the raven's feathers, that lovely shine. Doing a back stitch, so I'm just doing these stems in this lovely petrol green. To do your back stitch, you basically, so you start off with a running stitch and then you're just working backwards, so you're kind of missing a stitch. So when you come up, you miss a stitch, so you're leaving a gap which is a stitch length, coming up and then going back down into the existing hole of the previous stitch, so you get a nice tight line of stitches. Try to get them the same size all the way through. And that's your back stitch. So that's all the stems done in a back stitch. I'm now going to be doing the chain stitch for the leaves. Right, so I'm just going to quickly show you how to do a chain stitch for the leaves. So I'm using this nice sort of soft purpley colour. So you come up at the base of the leaf, make sure your thread is secure, and you go back down again right next to it, close as you can, and then you come up at the end of the leaf and you're just going to wrap that thread around the needle before you come all the way, make a nice loop, and then make a little securing stitch at the end. That's it, really easy. Chain stitch is all done. Now I just need to attach these turquoise leaves. So there's two for each wing. That's just really simple. Just going to be stitching up towards the end with a back stitch through the center of the leaves. All the beads are added now. I've just got to do the sequins. So these are going where these circles are on the pattern. And I'm going to be securing these in using these beads in the center. So you're just going to be sewing the two in together. This is the outside of one wing all completed. Obviously need to soak off the stick and stitch stuff yet. I'm going to do the other wing now, and then going to be going on to the body. This is really simple. So this is just a running stitch up through, putting on the sequins the same as you've done on the wing, a little bead, and then we're going to be putting it all together. This is the letter done with just a cross running stitch and a back stitch to make the envelope seal, and I'm just going to add a little blue bead for the communication. Here's all the pieces ready now for assembling. For the assembling, I'm basically going to be using white for the envelope and black thread for the raven herself, and most of the assembling is going to be using whip stitch, which is you knot your thread and then make sure your knot's on the inside of your project between the pieces, and then we're just going to be stitching over the edge. So this is the envelope. So you're basically just whipping this stitch over the edge. I'm just going a couple of millimeters wide with my stitches, catching both of the pieces in. So I'm going to go all the way around the edge of this and then have a long thread left to hang it from the raven's beak. I'm going to be using the same whip stitch around the raven and the wings, and also for attaching the wings to the raven's body. So it's pretty easy from now. It's all the same stitch or all the way through. So now for sewing the raven together, leave a little gap at the top to enable you to stuff the raven and put your ribbon in if you're using it. So that'll come as you make your way around to the end of it. So I'm going to start from here. I'm going to go all the way around with whip stitch in a matching thread. That's three strands, and then once I get to about here, I'm going to be stuffing him, and then I'm going to be whip stitching over again, and then making sure that I've got my two ends of my ribbon inside him. So we're going to be assembling the wings now, and the wings form pockets for the petitions and your intent. So you can write little notes and stuff them into your raven's pockets, whatever it is you need. These get attached this way up, so the feathered side, the feathered bottom is the bottom, and that's going to be attached there like that. But we need, so we're going to be sewing around there onto the raven with whip stitch to form the bottom of the pocket. The top of the pocket, we just need to sew these two pieces together. So we're just going to whip stitch from this first leaf along there, sewing the blue and the black together. So I've got the wings sewn together at the top. Just attaching it to the raven now, so I'm just situating it between the sequin and the other sequin, so it's going in between those two, and I am, I don't know if you can see, just whip stitching from the point now into the raven. I'm going to be doing this all the way around, right up to the point where I've started sewing the two pieces together. Wings are attached, both sides. So you've made little pockets to put your petitions in and your intent. So just need now to attach the letter, so to speak, as the symbol of the communication. So I'm just going to sew this just so that it's dangling just level with the bottom of the crow's body. Raven, sorry, not crow. So the letter is attached just with a couple of stitches in through the beak. It's about 4 centimetres thread. To finish off, I've just passed the needle right through the raven, pulled it right through, cut the thread off, and then it just disappears into the raven and you have no knotting. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the raven video. I've got lots more coming up, so please stick around, and I'll see you next time. So bye for now.